Let's say that you're in the market for a large three-row vehicle, but you have a few very specific needs. First and foremost, it has to be spacious. It has to have a powerful V6 engine. You want it to have an all-wheel drive system, and you don't want it to look like a hockey parent minivan. So what are your options? Well, both Honda and Hyundai just so happen to have updated versions of their popular Pilot and Palisade three-row SUVs for 2023. Let's start with the most important item of these three-row SUVs, space. Here in the Honda Pilot, I am more than comfortable with plenty of leg space and plenty of headroom. I am above average in height at 6'4", but I can still fit perfectly fine. In the second row, there is still quite a lot of space for somebody as tall as myself. Plenty of legroom, plenty of headroom, and you can option the Pilot with bench seats like this one or captain's chairs. Now for the third row, getting into the back is really easy. You just push a button, seat slides forward, and you are in. However, the legroom really depends on how far back the second row occupant allows you to have. Yeah, it's a little bit tight for somebody as tall as myself, but little kids should have just enough space back here. In the Hyundai Palisade, it is just as spacious for the front occupants as the Honda Pilot, so plenty of legroom and plenty of headroom. In the second row, it is also very spacious for somebody as tall as myself. More than enough leg space and more than enough headroom. And these seats do slide forwards and backwards, and they can also recline. And just like in the Pilot, you can get bench seats or captain's chairs. Now for the third row, pretty simple process. Push a button, seat slides forward, and you're getting into the third row. But just like in the Pilot, legroom really depends on how far back these second row seats go. But unlike the Pilot, the Palisade does have power reclining third row seats. Pretty cool feature. The most noticeable size difference between these two SUVs is in the trunks. The Honda Pilot has quite a bit more space than the Hyundai Palisade, and it continues to grow as the seats start to fold down. Both SUVs have 60/40 folding third row seats, available power operated in the Hyundai, but the Pilot allows for a slight degree of versatility over the Palisade. This is thanks to the 40-20-40 split folding second row bench seats, and you can remove the center seat altogether if you want to. In the Palisade, the bench seat is 60/40 split just like the third row, and the middle seat cannot be removed. While we are looking at the interiors of these three-row SUVs, I should mention that both of them are available with heated and ventilated front seats, heated second row seats in the outermost positions if optioned with a bench. They also have panoramic sunroofs, power programmable and hands-free lift gates, wireless phone charging pads, built-in navigation systems, head-up displays, and 3-zone automatic climate controls. But there are some differences between these two SUVs when talking about the convenience features. In the Palisade, you can option it with ventilated second row captain's chairs. It comes standard with a 12.3-inch touchscreen, and it has a rear seat quiet mode, which will turn off the audio system but just in the rear seats, so that kids can sleep peacefully back there. It also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, but they are wired connections, whereas in the Honda Pilot, these apps work wirelessly. So that's space and features looked at. What about the powertrains? Well, they both have V6 engines, and they both actually produce the same amount of torque, 262 pound-feet. But that's where the similarities end. The V6 in the Pilot is 3.5 liters, while the V6 in the Palisade is 3.8 liters. And that one is more powerful at 291 horsepower. But the V6 in the Pilot is not that far off. It's just shy by about 6 horsepower at 285. They also have very similar fuel economies, with both of them averaging around 11 liters per 100 kilometers combined. The engines pull the 2-ton SUVs with ease. There's just enough torque at low RPMs, but they really get into their strides once the RPM needle hits the 3,000 mark. Both SUVs are also capable of towing up to 5,000 pounds. The Palisade's engine is paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission, while the Honda Pilot gets a 10-speed automatic transmission. They are smooth shifting, and both have steering wheel mounted paddle shifters should you want to take over control. The transmissions send the power to all 4 wheels, but it's the Honda's all-wheel drive system that is a bit more sophisticated. It uses a second-generation intelligent variable torque management all-wheel drive system. And without getting into too many boring details, this all-wheel drive system not only controls how much power is sent to the front or back wheels, but it can also distribute the power between the rear wheels depending on which one has more traction. So that's interior space, features, engines, all-wheel drive systems all looked over. But what about the minivan looks? Well, clearly neither of them have it. The Hyundai Palisade is going through a mid-cycle update for the 2023 model year, so it receives new LED daytime running lights, a new grille, and new wheel designs. But overall, it's still the same runaway hit from back in 2020. On the other hand, the Honda Pilot enters its 4th generation, so it receives a much more significant update. This new 2023 Pilot is also available in the new Trail Sport trim, which is a more off-road focused trim. So it receives unique wheels with all-terrain tires, a 1-inch lift, and skid plates underneath it to protect the vital components. The Hyundai Palisade is the least expensive of the two, with a starting price of $47,999. The 2023 Honda Pilot starts at $50,650. At the other end, the Palisade Calligraphy trim costs $56,498, while the Pilot Black Edition costs $62,850. These are the manufacturer's suggested retail prices in Canadian currency and before fees and taxes. So although the Pilot is more expensive, it is available in 5 different trim levels, including the off-road ready Trail Sport, while the Palisade is only offered in 3 trim levels. Okay, let's recap. The 2023 Honda Pilot has a lot of interior space, but the 2023 Hyundai Palisade is available with just a few more features. So it comes down to what you need more of, interior space or more features. But whichever one you choose, they both have powerful V6 engines, they both have all-wheel drive, and clearly, neither of them look like minivans. So if you'd like to see and test drive either one of them, please don't hesitate to contact any one of our product specialists at one of our 4 OpenRoad Honda locations throughout BC and Ontario, or our one OpenRoad Hyundai location in Richmond, BC. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.